Oh God. Hey everyone. I went to speak and my throat, like, I had to clear my throat. Anyways, hello. Welcome back to my channel. This is a general love and relationship reading for the new moon in Cancer. I'm a little bit late posting this and recording it, but I've just, been busy. So let's see what the energy is helping us with. I did post about it on Instagram. If you don't follow me there yet, go follow me at Empowering Authenticity. On the 9th, when it went into the new moon. I'm recording this on the 11th, and yesterday the 10th, and it was the new moon all day. So the energy is usually there like a couple of, like 2 to 3 days before, and then 2 to 3 days after you can tap into the energy. So it's not too late to get messages, or just whenever you see this and it is relevant for you, there you go. So let's see what's happening astrologically if these cards would come out. Let's see, what do they want to tell us? So new moons are about setting intentions. They're also called dark moons because the moon is pretty much gone. It's obscured. Well, it's the dark side of the moon is being shown. And so shadow stuff could come up. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Shadow stuff generally comes up like during this time, and it's a really good healing opportunity. I mean, yes, it is. We have clean slate, and we have a clean slate, and it's like, asking for us to set our intentions going forward. And then during the full moon is when we see those intentions being brought to the surface, is how it works. But the dark moon is also a good time for releasing, just like the full moon is. So every culmination, or every ending and beginning. So like full moons generally represent a completion, right? Because it's full. But new moons also represent a coming full circle. And so endings and beginnings happen simultaneously as something. If you want something new to begin, you have to end something to make space for it. So let's see what kind of the part of fortune increase. So part of fortune, I believe, is a very lucky, auspicious card. I'm going to double check. Black Moon Lilith mystery. This is like, it says mystery, like it's very mysterious and dark, and that is what new moons are all about. And we're not necessarily sure like what's coming or what it is. And it's almost like fear and excitement are two sides of the same coin. So some people fear the unknown, the new, the mystery, the darkness, and then some people get off on it, right, and are excited by it. So it really depends on your perspective. And so then we have earth element stability. So I'm going to read just a little bit from each of these just so I can get a full picture, and then I'm sure the cards will. I'm going to try not to make this a super long reading because I don't have that much time right now, but I needed to squeeze this in. Fortune favors the brave. So I do feel it's asking us to be brave in terms of allowing us to dive into our shadows and our dark stuff to create more stability in our life. I already get that. So the part of fortune is the 10 of Pentacles. So it's tens represent completion. And you'll see there's a circle. So circles, it's like infinity, completion, endings and beginnings. It's like, where does one thing end? Where does one thing begin? You can't tell. So, and it says, many look upon the part of fortune as moon energy, which means the talents and gifts it endows upon an individual are both nascent and unconscious. That makes a lot of sense. The moon represents our shadows and our unconscious energy. It is as if powers are waiting beneath the surface of water, and when that power is stirred by action or thought, those talents and gifts emerge. So we're being asked to look at excuse me, our shadows as a gift and not like a burden, or to also dive into them and see what they have to tell us, see how we can utilize it too. This one is the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is objective. She can be like cold, but not, she's non-emotional. She's easily detached. I don't want to say cold, but and she can cut stuff out that she doesn't need. Like she doesn't need to be attached to anything or anyone because she's fine on her own. That's kind of the energy of the Queen of Swords, and that's kind of like Lilith. I think I explained the energy of Lilith, which she was known as the first woman, the first wife of Adam, and when she wouldn't be submissive to him, I don't remember if she got like sent away or she left herself or whatever, but then she was demonized for standing up for herself or not giving her power away. But then she was also like in some stories, you know, she became a succubus, which is like, because she was very like in tune with her sexual energy, her creative energy, her feminine energy, which is all of that stuff, and her anger, her like all the things that are not necessarily welcomed in our society as women, like being angry, and being very sexual. Those things she had and she owned. And so succubus is like, it appears to men at night. They're known to appear to men at night and to lure them away, to seduce them and then kill them, or like they take stuff from them, like they take their strength. It says causing wet dreams and impotency. So there's a lot of fear around it, around that powerful energy that is the dark, like that's the dark side of the moon, right? It's like the moon is feminine energy, the sun is masculine energy, and the moon represents feminine. So it's the dark side of the feminine energy that people are afraid of, that we demonize in our society. We're being asked to uncover that which is within ourselves and possibly utilize it to manifest or to just heal or create space somehow. Oh, my wrist hurts. Because, you know, we can't use it for a creative and productive source rather than being destructive, because it can be destructive. The first card that says Black Moon Lilith card in brief, arousal. So it's a lot of sexual energy, the magical elixir of sex, tantric sex, seduction, glamour, the other woman or man, an affair. So it can represent that energy. And I, you know, it was funny, I was thinking about, I think I'm going to use this deck now, but I was like, because the new moon in Cancer, like Cancer is the mother energy. Since we're talking about feminine energy, Cancer is the mother energy. It represents home. And in the post I had put on Instagram, you know, it was a lot about healing your mother wounds, allowing yourself to be nurtured and cared for, but then also, you know, recognizing how you are with your own feminine energy. And that means all aspects of your feminine energy, not just the loving and the sweet and the kind and the caring and the nurturing ones, but the anger, the rage, the despair, the sensuality, the sexuality, all of those things, the desire, right? We don't allow ourselves, like a lot of my embodied pussy wisdom stuff, you know, I talk about desire and pleasure, and we limit ourselves because of the shit that, like, for one, it's our conditioning in patriarchal society, but it's also, if we do show up that way, we generally get shut down, or, you know, like I said, demonized for it. We get persecuted, or, you know, told we're this and that. We get called names and judged, and even by other women, if they're not in tune with theirs, if they're not in touch with theirs, they're operating from their conditioning, they're going to be doing it too. And so it isolates those women who, from men and women sometimes. So anyways, I was going to say, I have this deck. It's called the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And I used it the other day at a bachelorette party I went to and read cards. And I've been using it for myself, and I haven't taken it out in a while. Clearing my throat chakra. But I was like, no, I'm not going to use that deck, because like, this is like about nurturing and like, you know, healing your mother wound. And it's like, but where do you think we get our wounds from around sexuality? Our mother, right? It's like we see the model, or we are born into this family that has all these beliefs and whatnot. So we're healing all of that. And so I am going to use my Tarot of Sexual Magic deck. Just to warn you, it does have very sexual images. It shows nipples and butts. It doesn't show pussies or penises, but very suggestive sexual positions. So if you don't want to watch that, please don't watch. Or if you're a child, I hope that you are not watching. Anyways, okay, so let's look at the earth element. Stability. Now this one I believe is the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. So Ace of Pentacles is like an opportunity, a gift being given in the physical world. It says, now it is time to draw upon your strength. Think of yourself as solid and as sure as a rooted tree. You are firm. Nothing can knock you out of your spot. So as this like ancient conditioned stuff with feminine energy comes up for us possibly right now during this new moon in Cancer, it's asking, like, don't allow it to knock you off your to knock you down, to knock you off your center, to make you question yourself in this world, and know that you can, like, in diving into your shadow energy and your mystery and your darkness, into your Lilith energy as a feminine, or just as feminine, the feminine energy you have within you. If you're a man watching this and that's how you identify, like, yes, it could represent you, but it could also represent you, how you show up for women in your life. So that's also very important if you don't feel like it resonates for you. And so reminding you that in tapping into all sides of your feminine energy, like your darkness, your shadows, it's going to create more stability for you. I honestly get that, because we have the part of fortune, which represents the 10 of Pentacles, and then we have earth element, which represents Ace of Pentacles. So lots of pentacles, which is earth, stability, culmination, completion, and having abundance, but it's really about stability too. So this new moon in Cancer is really allowing us the opportunity to see where we're out of balance in our life, in the physical world somewhere, and to not give up on creating it by owning those aspects of us that we may may struggle owning. Okay, so we have the Temperance cards, the first one. It's Sagittarius energy. So Temperance is emotional balance and alchemy. So she's creating some kind of elixir there. But that represents our emotions, and it's also about patience, because you need patience in order to create something new. It's, things don't just happen overnight. Oh, and look who we have, the Queen of Swords coming out. So the Queen of Swords is okay being on her own, and that's the very Lilith energy too. Like, she has no problem being independent, not having a man. She's like, fuck this. If I'm not gonna be able to be myself and be honored and loved and supported for all of who I am, then I'm not going to stick around. Peace out. That's basically the energy of Lilith and the Queen of Swords, which is why she represents the Queen of Swords. And so she's showing up because I get we've created that for ourselves, like our own emotional balance. We've been patient in creating this stability for ourselves, and we're showing up in our power and, like, not giving in to the bullshit around us. The Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold, feeling abandoned. Yeah, I mean, this is what I feel like the Queen of Swords energy, this Lilith energy has had to do is through feeling like rejected and abandoned, and like nobody wants me for me, and possible loss. It's about loss, but it's Pentacles energy, so it's loss in the physical world. So it could have been money, because like, even as women, like, not getting paid enough, or getting looked over for jobs that get given to men because we're women, and they, all of these, you're too emotional, or you're too this, or you're too that. They create all of these stories around our feminine energy and our strengths, and we get told that they're weaknesses, and that keeps us from being truly seen for who we are. And I feel like that's what we have been doing. Feminine energy, divine feminine energy, has been healing from, and it's still coming up. Like, a lot of it is coming to the surface right now, but it's about how we've maintained our own balance, and not given into all of the intense emotions that we could have like used as destructive forces. Instead, we've been using it productively. The Seven of Cups is about fantasy, illusions, having a lot of options. I more get fantasy because I feel like the Lilith energy represents, here we have the Empress, all that which feminines in this real world don't believe that we can have, our desires, our true desires, and seeing that, like, we get so stuck in this world and think we only have it this way or that way, or there's only a few options, and we feel very limited in our options. Sorry, I'm pulling on my shorts. And I get, we are changing the status quo. We are shifting that and not settling for less than what it is we really truly want, even if it seems like a fantasy to other people. But that is one of our gifts, is to be able to tap into that fantasy world, our imagination, and create from that space. The Knave of Pentacles. This is the Page of Pentacles. So you see how he's like holding her and like trying to feed her, and she's just kind of like, I don't know if I want that. Yeah, it's like, just no matter what, no matter the limitations that have been put in our way, we're still moving forward. I also love that all of these women have red hair, except for the Queen of Swords, but it's because I have red hair, but well, I need to dye it. But I love that they all have red hair. I think Lilith had red hair too. I'm not kidding. Or she was depicted as having red hair. It's like, no matter how much we've been held back or haven't gotten the opportunities, because the Page of Pentacles is the Knave, but is the Page, is like a small beginning, a small start. We haven't had as many opportunities. We haven't had as many, I just say opportunities, possibilities. It doesn't, in the physical world. And so it's like, no matter what, we're still moving forward and owning and finding our power. The Empress is the mother energy. So here she is, the mother energy, showing up in all her glory. She's fertile and she can create what she wants. She's in her full power. She embodies all four queen energies. The Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is having everything that you want. Your wishes being fulfilled. Yeah, we're not settling less than what it is we truly want in this life. And the Nine of Pentacles, 2 9. See, it's about us. Like, it's the feminine energy is realizing, okay, I've been so focused on pleasing everyone else and loving everyone else and doing things for everyone else. The Nine of Pentacles is like my single and loving myself and loving my life card and building up your life for yourself and not for anyone else. And that's also what is very attractive to men. But some men don't know how to don't necessarily know how to be with a woman like that, because it's also can be intimidating. Someone who knows what they want and goes after it and is fine on their own, because yes, we do, men and women have specific strengths and roles that we were born into these bodies to provide, and we do need men for that. However, we've had to develop those things for ourselves because of the not feeling safe in certain situations, or, you know, being attacked, being victimized, being hurt by men. Doesn't mean all men are like this, but it's just that it has happened to us. Therefore, we've had to develop these things within ourselves. And I think everybody does, like, just like men need to develop their feminine energy to be completely balanced, we've had to develop our masculine energy in this patriarchal world. So, what was I saying? It's not that we don't need men or want men for their strengths, which is to be the protector, the provider. I love men. Like, sometimes I wish I could be a lesbian, but I'm just not, because I just love men so much. I'm so attracted to them. And that's not polarity. It's because I have a innately feminine energy, and I'm attracted to innate masculine energy sexually. And that's what creates balance in our world. It also is what creates imbalance, or, you know, it can. Here's the thing. I think people in relationships, fights and stuff happen, and we fear the transformative quality that the fights are causing in our lives. And sometimes, yes, it's people we're not meant to be with and whatnot. But it's like if it's a relationship that is really supportive and loving and we're meant to stay together, fights will happen and it's meant to help us grow and learn and evolve. I'm like getting off way on a tangent. But what I was saying is, it's not that we don't need men for their qualities of, being the protectors and the providers. We do. We want them, but we also know we can do it for ourselves. And that can be very intimidating for men if they haven't done their own inner work, who, and take this as masculine, feminine energy. Doesn't have to be man or woman, but I'm just using those words. If they haven't done their own inner work and empowerment around it, it can be intimidating to be with a woman like that, and they may feel threatened or like, oh my God, they don't need me. And it's not that. It's like we're allowing ourselves to need you too. Like that's like giving your power away to the other person, just as the man will admit, I need a woman for these qualities, for the qualities that we have, for her vision, for her intuition, for her nurturing, for her openness, her receptivity. And it's not that he necessarily needs it, because if he's done his own inner work and he's balanced within himself, he doesn't need it, but he wants it. And that's how the exchange of power is then done. Which I don't think a lot of people realize, and I didn't for the longest time, and I'm still learning it. I'm not in a relationship, but it's like learning about it. When I put it into practice, I still like get that, right? And it's about the giving away of the power on purpose, not because I feel like I have to, because I can't do it for myself, so it's such a different empowering thing when you're consciously giving your power to somebody and saying, I trust you with it. I trust that you are my partner and that we're going to support each other. And it's not that I need you. Like I said, it's not that I need you, but I want you, and I know that I can't do everything on my own. So, we do need each other. But first we have to discover for ourselves, like who we are, how we feel supported. That way we can communicate with the other person, and it makes the relationship easier. That's when communication is like one of the biggest aspects, that clear communication and honest communication that kind of fucks relationships up, in my opinion. And I'm just like, there's so much coming out right now that I wasn't expecting. So I apologize. If I'm like, feeling a little overwhelmed by all of it. And, so clear communication, being able to, for both parties to know who they are, know what they want, know what they need, and communicate that to the other person is what's going to make a relationship last and thrive, as long as both people have that agreement that, yes, I will do this for you, and to also say no when I can't do this for you. And then, it's like one person can't meet all of our needs. Okay, let's move on, please. So we have the Four of Pentacles, which is feeling guarded or holding on to something too tightly. See how she's like not super interested in whatever he's doing? She's like asleep. Then we have the Queen of Wands. So she's the passionate, fiery. She would be like the Lilith. I mean, Queen of Swords, yes, too, but I feel like she is also like the embodiment of that. Because she's the magnetic, passionate, fiery one. When I get with the Four of Pentacles, it's more of a protection of this energy. We've had to protect our energy this way. Or maybe that's what's coming up, is we're being asked to protect our life force. Because this is our Queen of Wands, is like she's tapped into her life force energy. That's what that represents to me. Another Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is about anxiety, sleepless nights. See, this is the thing. Having to protect ourselves has caused a lot of stress for the feminine energy, because we want to be open and receptive and have a relationship with the conscious masculine, with our counterpart, with someone who is going to protect and provide for us. But because of all the stuff that's happened to us in the past, or to other people, or in our family, whatever it was, we've had to close ourselves off, or protect ourselves, or guard ourselves out of fear of being taken advantage of. The Eight of Pentacles, yeah. Eight of Pentacles is work. It's working hard at something, learning a new skill. You see how he's kind of like rubbing that. It looks like he's the one who's putting in the work. And I get that's kind of where I think where things are shifting, where the feminines are kind of like, okay, masculines, it's now your turn to put in this, do the inner work so that you can show up and be a conscious divine masculine with me, because now we have done it and we've kind of paved the way for you. Yeah, the Emperor. So we have counterparts, the Empress and the Emperor. So that we've created space for you guys to show up. I say you guys like it's men watching, but masculine energy to show up and be in your power. But I also think that, you see how he looks like depleted. I don't think that the masculines realized that they needed the feminines as much as they did either. I think feminines always knew that we needed them. However, it was more of a like, well, I don't trust you, so I'm going to be in relationship with you, or I'm going to become overly masculine, or I'm going to, be dark and mysterious and closed off. And I think men were kind of just like, oh, we're, both. I think the shadow aspect that's coming out is like both of them not thinking they needed the other. And I think we're coming to a point where like, no, we really do need each other. And in order to have a trusting, safe relationship with another person of the opposite sex, we're going to have to do all this inner healing work. Otherwise, nothing's ever going to change. Justice. Yeah, it's about creating balance. It's Libra energy, but balancing the scales of justice, balancing karma, balancing it's just equilibrium in our world is needed. And that's, I think, what the new moon in Cancer is allowing us to do, is to heal. I was talking about an imbalance. So Four of Cups. Four of Cups is about not liking what you're being offered, discontent. Let's see what else this is about. The King of Pentacles. Yeah, see, I think the masculines are realizing that what they thought they wanted isn't actually fulfilling, or it isn't actually what they need. And it was all because it was coming from a conditioned place in society where we're told this is what relationships look like, and this is how you're supposed to show up in them. Yeah, it's taking a leap of faith in a brand new direction. The King of Pentacles, like the masculine energies, like are realizing I need to go, like this isn't what's best for me. I feel like I see just like this masculine doing a complete like 360 or 180 and turning around and being like, I need to go back this way, and this isn't what I thought. Like this isn't what I wanted. And it's almost like waking up one day and just realizing this too. And just like feeling like a fool, like, oh my God, I'm gonna go, I don't know, I don't know. Like it just is like completely changing your life in terms of how you see relationships. The Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is feeling trapped in your head. Because as the feminine energy was like feeling anxious, he realized that the way that he was doing relationship with other people, the way that society was, told us we needed to be and show up, it caused him to feel trapped mentally. He didn't feel free. The Tower, yeah. And the Tower is like a sudden thing happening, like that guy's gonna kill the other guy. It's a sudden realization, or something happening like losing a job or a divorce, or there's just a sudden big life event, something that shakes your foundation to its core, but also destroys a foundation. The Hanged Man, offering a new perspective. So the masculines, it seems like, either are or will be going through this process. So we were first talking about the feminine energy and her journey. Now we're talking about masculine energy. The Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is like slow movement, but it's a solid offer. So it's realizing I need to take things more slowly, or I need to be more intentional. I feel like it's the masculines realizing I actually need to think about it instead of going just like with how I feel and my passion or what I think my instincts are telling me. I need to actually like slow down and make sure I'm being more intentional about who I put my energy into in terms of relationship. The King of Wands. See, now we have counterparts again. Where's the Queen of Wands? Yeah, so it's when it's realizing, yeah, here she is. Realizing that you want both. I feel you want all of it. You want everything. You can have it all. You can have, and also that you can become that counterpart for that woman who is tapped into her life force energy, that Lilith energy. I think it's acknowledging your own shadows and showing up and like, yes, I can hold space for you. And you see how he has like his cape kind of wrapped around her. So it is like, I can be that person for you. So I don't know if this is like, and the 10 of Cups. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop it there because I got to go, but I'm going to pull a couple. But yeah, so it's the emotional fulfillment. They're telling me to get one more. Okay. I can have everything that I want. Both are like, okay, I'm not going to settle for less than what I know that I want and deserve. And that possibly something was missing before with the 4 of Cups, you know, that was that, I feel like the masculines realizing they're not liking what was being offered, and they're going after, like, they're not settling for less than what is fully emotionally fulfilling for me in relationships. And the 2 of Cups, okay, so this is why I had to come out. The 2 of Cups is like going on a date with someone. It's love, it's union, it's being in love, and not just being in lust. It's having all of it. Being in love and being in lust, like both. Like, you've had either one or the other, right? So it's like you've had relationships where you just really love that person, but it's more of like friendship vibes. And then you've had relationships where it's just very strong chemistry and sexual energy. And both parties are like, I'm not settling for less than that. But the masculine more so is realizing like, okay, I can have both. And I think it's like more shifting their standards and looking for a completely different type of person rather than just, yeah, I don't know, settling. No more settling here. Ellen of the Ways, patterns. I think both are realizing, look, she's got red hair too. Lots of redheads. Realizing, I think they're both realizing the patterns that they've had in relationship and healing. Well, actually, I feel like that's more so. Well, let's see. I'm gonna get one more, one for the masculine, one for the feminine. Excuse me, and then I'm gonna go because I have to go. Mastery. So okay, so this is the feminine energy. This was for the masculine. This is Master Saraswati. Is she's like the goddess of creativity, I believe, and like, no, not Lakshmi's abundance. But mastery is like mastering. It is creativity. She's like the master of her own creative energy. So however that shows up for you, it can be music, it can be art, it can be writing, it can be dancing, singing, it can be cooking, knitting, I don't know, whatever, however your creative energy shows up, it's different for everyone. And then I think the masculine energy is noticing the patterns they have in relationship and how they may not be the best for them. And yeah, the feminine energy is, I want to pull one more just for both of them, is mastering her creative energy, which is what is going to attract the masculine to her masculine counterpart, not just any masculine. You know, we're looking for our counterpart, the in-between, hectate. So right now, and I think in this new moon, it is kind of like a void space. Both are in between worlds. They haven't fully, and again, the new moon energy is allowing us to wrap things up and then to move forward and to start something new. So that is the energy for both right now. They're both in between. They're not necessarily, this is what they're working on. So they haven't fully come into their power yet. But they will. Okay. They're like, get one more. Communication. See? Iris. How beautiful is that card? Communication. So some communication is going to be happening or needs to happen between them. And again, I was talking about how important communication is in a relationship in order for it to thrive. So I think maybe possibly coming out of the new moon energy, which might be a couple of days or so, possible communication could come in. But right now you're kind of in that in-between, unsure, uncertain. I don't know how things are going to go. And it's really because you're kind of wrapping things up and working on these things for yourselves. So if you'd like to work with me, go to my website, empoweringauthenticity.com. And please like and share and subscribe. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.